Alright guys, my job's had me out of town for a few days, but when I got back this was patiently waiting for me in the post office box. This is a Sparrows competitor. Everything you're going to see, $69 Canadian, which works out to $52 US. We've reviewed this competitor case before. You guys remember how this works. Folds open, and then the door or the flap folds down, and then it forms like a little work stand. And then two different settings. You can set it at a high angle, which is how I prefer, and that's using the first snap, or it'll set a little flatter if you like it that way by using the second snap. So I'll just set it up kind of upright here, and let's go through what we got. First of all, everything you see in here, there are 10 picks and 12 tension wrenches. Everything is made out of 301 Cold Max stainless steel. And take a look. This one, by the way, is polished already. They are full shank, which means the metal goes from the tip to the tail there, full. So you're going to get some pretty good feedback. And these are this kind of hard dipped plastic. You guys, I think, have seen this before. Pretty good handle. It just takes the sharp edges off. It's not too cumbersome. The thing I noticed is that when they dip these, the one on the left is, I've polished it and worked on it for a few minutes. They dip them kind of deep, so just take a razor blade, cut that down a little bit, and it'll be probably a little more to your liking. That way when you hold it, your finger is resting on the pick to pick up those vibrations, to absorb those vibrations, as opposed to if you leave it out there, then your finger is going to be kind of on that plastic, which might muffle or mute some of the feedback. So just cut it back and you'll be good to go. As I said, this one is mostly polished. I spent probably about a minute, maybe 2 minutes on it, rounding everything off. This is kind of the way it'll look. So it'll slide in to the keyway pretty smoothly. This first one is what they call an offset hybrid, and I am using this more and more. I really like this pick. It's got a wide tip, so placement on the pins really isn't that critical. You're probably going to just get close. It's like throwing grenades, and just get close and you're good enough. It has the same sweep or the same depth as a standard hook, which is this one. Now you'll notice this one has yellow finish, and that's because I haven't finished this one. I just wanted to show you they do shine up very quickly, and this yellow stuff is residue from the dipping process. But there's your shallow hook, a little bit, or short hook. It's a little bit thinner on the tip, requiring some pretty precise placement. But if you're trying to pick like T-pins, this is probably a better choice. So you can't substitute it, but I definitely added that offset hybrid to my arsenal. Okay, moving up, now we're going to get into something. This is called the shallow Euro. And then we have, let's see what we get here, we have a steep hook. So if you got one of those really shortcut pins hiding behind a very low cut pin, this would be the one to grab. You have a half diamond. You have a city rake. Not too bad. Could use a little bit of love there. A little bit. If you look on some of these with those very sharp cuts, you can start to see the etching in there. I don't think that makes a lot of difference, but personally I think I would probably do my best to smooth that out. We get over here, we got two really of my favorite picks. We have a triple peak or Bogota, which is everybody's favorite pick. And then that bottom one is the worm pick. It's almost like the Bogota, but you see it's rounded off both on the top and the bottom. And a little bit different curvature, but it's a lot shorter in profile going this dimension in height. So it'll fit in some pretty tight little keyways where your Bogota might fit in there, but it won't give you a lot of room to work. This one certainly will. I use that a lot on best locks. It seems to work pretty good for me. We have a double peak, so it's basically a triple peak with one of them cut off. And then we have what they call the Best Buster snake rake. Best as in Falcon and Arrow and Best locks. They say that this one is designed, it's got a little forward sweep on that S-rake, theoretically to give you a little bit better response inside of the those type of locks, the Arrows, the Best and the Falcons. Now we have, as I mentioned, 12 tension wrenches, and to me this is great. Having a good selection of tension wrenches really is absolutely critical to success, because getting the right tensioner sometimes is the biggest part of the battle in picking a lock. You have these double enders and they have a twist in them, so basically 90 degrees off. One short end, one long end. We have the standard, what I call wide, medium, and the narrow one. We have the short L with no twist, with a short end for flat-faced, and then deep set locks or inset locks. And then we have L rakes with a twist if you like that flex, give you a little bit of play on your tensioning. Same 3 widths on all of these. And then if you don't like that twist, you don't like that flexiness, I actually prefer without the flexiness, and these are just standard L. Very simple, but hey, it works. What can I say? All packed inside of the case here. They call this the competitor case. What would I change? Well, I've already mentioned the first thing I would change is I would trim off some of this dipping stuff. I think you have to do that in order to get the right feedback. The second thing is everything in here is 25 thousandths. You really need to add some 15 thousandths stuff. I would probably add a couple of 15 thousandths hooks and probably a couple of 15 thousandths rakes to round this kit out, so that way you can attack pretty much any kind of lock. And then of course I already mentioned polishing, and the difference, this polishing, you guys, it really does make a difference. It makes a difference in the feel that you get back from the lock, and it also makes a difference in your success. If it increases my efficiency or chance of picking by only 5%, you can be sure I'm going to do it. I went to a public school. I need all the help I can get. Anyway, if you'd like to win this competitor kit, easy to do. Go to the website, which is right, let me move this out of the way. It's right there, underneath. Go to that website. Right in the middle of the page there is a button that says free giveaway. Press the button and it'll take you to the site and it'll mention the competitor kit. You register and you will win. A lot of questions. You don't need to be a funder. You don't need to pay anything. It's totally 100% free. Just these things are donated. I can't keep them in good conscience, so I'm giving them away. Enter your name and your email. If you win, I'll email you, and then post your name on the U1 page. Anyway, fellas, there you go. Stay safe. Stay legal.